Hello guys, special greetings to you from the Snow City. Welcome to Masego Empire and thank you so much for always making time to listen to my video. It's always good to know that I'm not a licensed immigration consultant, neither am I a visa officer. I'm just going to share my personal experiences with you in terms of application of visa or to what is expected of you in applying for visa to Canada. In our last discussion, we had spoken about proof of home ties in the Canadian visa application. It could be study permit application or work permit application or what have you. Now, in that discussion, we had stated that a proof of home ties simply means that what is the connection that binds somebody with the possibility of returning to his or her hometown in case you have visited Canada, in case you have visited the US or any other country. So during the visa application or during the reviewing of your visa application, the visa officer will be looking for information that clearly shows that you have a ties, you have a connection, you have a link. There is something that will compel you to return to your home country. So anything that will ensure that you return to your home country, any valuable asset that will ensure that you return to your home country is what we are referring to as what? A proof of home ties. Now, let's continue with the list that we had stated at that time. One of the things that you can equally use to show proof of home ties in your visa application is using a proof of property ownership. Now, proof of property ownership simply means that if you are somebody who has an invaluable or intangible property, you can actually use that property to show that you have made a lot of what financial investment in your home country. You get that? Now, in terms of proof of property in your home country, showing that you have actually invested a lot of money in your home country, you can use something like land. If you have a land, you can actually write about the land that you have acquired, the size of the land, and the purpose for which you have acquired that land. You can demonstrate that as what a proof of home ties to show that you have a land and this is something that will ensure that you return to your home country in case you have even visited Canada. Don't forget, these people do not have land at their places. So if they know that you are somebody who has 6 acres of land, 3 acres of land, and what have you, it shows that, oh, this is something very significant. This is something very important, and this will ensure that you're going to return to your home country. Depending on the program you are going to study, if you are somebody who is coming to study a program relating to, let's say, a business program like MBA, program like education, program like law, you can actually demonstrate to the visa officer that the land you have acquired, you intend to use this land for purpose A or B or C when you return to your home country or after your studies in Canada and you return to your home country. You see, so it means that you have not just acquired the land, you have a purpose for the land. You can also state that you envisage that in the near future you want to put up your future house on that land, a house that will will contain you and your immediate family. You get that? Now, another thing you can also do is that if you are somebody who has a building, if you have a house, you see, you can actually use that house to demonstrate that was a proof of home ties. So maybe you are somebody who has put up a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, maybe just a single chamber and hall. You can use that to demonstrate to the visa officer that this is a property I have made in my home country. Get that? It will do a lot of magic for you. Or you are somebody who has also invested a lot in real estate, as we call it. You are somebody who is into real estate, you have a lot of houses, you have a lot of apartments that you are renting to people. You can actually use this to demonstrate to the visa officer that, hey, look, I have made a lot of these properties in my home country. Maybe my good friend Isaac Kweku Esen, who is watching, this is a great guy who is doing a whole lot in his industry. So Esen can demonstrate to the visa officer that I have buildings here. I have actually put up maybe a 10 units building in Accra. And this is what I'm renting to people. And he can actually demonstrate to the visa officer that at the end of every month, this is amount my tenants are paying to me. At the end of the year, this is what I'm able to accumulate from my real estate. And you can actually prove all these things using documentation. So during the review of the visa application, the visa officer will realize that this is somebody who has done a lot in his home country. This is somebody who has actually invested a lot of money in acquiring lands, putting up houses, or just investing a lot in real estate. So this is somebody who will not come to Canada and wouldn't return to your home country. And if you are somebody who is actually applying for a visit visa, in terms of visit visa, this is so significant in the approval or in refusal of your visa application. So if you are applying for a visit visa and you want it quickly approved, make sure you get some landed properties, land, house, or real estate to demonstrate that. You get that? Now, let's move on and talk about the next thing. The next thing that I actually want us to talk about is financial assets. Financial assets simply means that you are somebody who has a lot of money at the bank. You are somebody who has a lot of investment. You have these years. You have made some fixed deposit and what have you at the bank. A lot of money, depending on your age. Don't just think that we are talking about a lot of money, so you just want to go get money that wouldn't really speak to your current state. You get that? You can use this thing to demonstrate to the visa officer that this is somebody, I'm somebody who has a lot of money in my home country. And I wouldn't be somebody who will come to your home country, your country, and wouldn't want to go back to Ghana. You get that? Now, I have earlier on stated that don't just have huge sums of money in your account that you can't account for it. Let me just talk about my good friend Wisdom. Maybe Wisdom may be around 30 years. And Wisdom now, as of now, has about 600,000 in his bank account. You see, or 1 million Ghana cedi in his bank account. Wisdom should be able to demonstrate to the visa officer the source of this money, how he's been able to acquire this money, how he's been able to save this money, what gives him a lot of this money on daily basis or on monthly basis. If you are unable to demonstrate the source of this money, can actually land you into a lot of problems. So those of you whose visas might have been refused based on the two proof of home ties I have already spoken about, you realize that if it's Canada, they will tell you that I'm refusing you visa because I do not think that you return to your home country because of the following reason. One, you have demonstrated insufficient financial capability. Number two, you do not have enough, or you didn't show enough proof of what ties to your home country. Now, this could mean that you do not have enough money. So that is why I have spoken about using your financial assets to demonstrate that you have a lot of money. It should not necessarily be a money in your savings account. It could be that a money that you have done used as what a fixed deposit. Now, if you are coming as a student, or you are somebody who wants to just visit Canada on tourist or visit visa, what are some of the ways that you can demonstrate a strong proof of financial assets to your home country? One of the easiest way you can do this is to, one, register a business. be somebody who is running a business. Just register a business. It shouldn't be a business that is so big, but you should be able to present the business in a way that shows that, oh, this is a business that can withstand the test of time. Register the business. We have the registration document from the Registrar General Department. Have that certificate. Have the Form E or the Form C, depending on type of business is it. You should be able to have a certificate from the district assembly, from the municipality, or from the district in which you are operating the business. Be able to show proof of this in a tax clearance form. You see, the tax clearance form actually talks about the profit that you have made and the taxes that you have paid to the state. You get that? You should be able to have this. Then you put all these things together. If you are somebody who is into buying and selling, trading, some of the receipts that you might have gotten from whoever supplies you your goods, you can actually attach some of those receipts to these documents that I have spoken about, and attach it to all other documents and submit it for the visa application. You see, now you should be able to give brief explanation about these things that I'm talking about. Talk about your taxes. I've been able to pay this amount of tax this year or this quarter of the year to GRA. I've been able to pay this amount of tax to the district assembly. You should know that there is entirely two different taxes that are paid by businesses. We pay some of the taxes to GRA. We pay some of the taxes to the district assembly. You should be able to substantiate the two taxes that you are paying. And you see, now your returns should also show that you have good money. If you are saving at the bank, you can demonstrate that. You see, this will show that this is somebody who has a strong ties to his home country. You are showing a strong ties to your home country using your financial asset. Now, let's talk about another one. Another one that I want us to talk about is community tie. Now, if you are somebody who has been involved in community services, you are somebody who has been involved in a lot of communal labor, you are somebody who has been involved into providing some form of services to your home community on a pro bono basis, on a free basis, on a basis that you are not being paid money for. For example, you are involved into maybe planning of festivals, you've been involved into putting up a community project, you are involved in these non-governmental organizations. For example, in an NGO perhaps that is into education, NGO that is into health, NGO that is into whatsoever. You are a key member of this NGO. You can show that you are a key member using pictures that you might have taken during your donation, or some of the recommendations that might have been given to you by the executive directors of the NGO and what have you. So if you are somebody who perhaps is applying for visa for study, applying for visa as a tourist or on a visit, you can actually go to the directors of this NGO and tell them to give you a recommendation letter. You see, they can equally give you an introductory letter, as I have spoken about in my previous video in terms of your employment. So the directors of this NGO can give you an introductory letter to show that this is somebody who has been involved in a community service, he's been involved in this team, doing this and doing that. And sometimes if they have given you some awards, you can actually use that as part of the document to present to the visa officer. Be able to explain this in your explanation letter. If you are a student, you need a letter of explanation. Even if you are traveling on a tourist visa, on a visit visa, you equally need an explanation letter. Be able to present this in a nice manner to the visa officer. Once they review this, they know that you are involved in a community service. And the whites don't really joke about community service. It's something that they appreciate a lot. It's something that they pay a lot of emphasis to. You get that? Now, irrespective of the NGO that you are joining, be sure that what you do in your home country, what you are coming to study in Canada, has some form of affiliation with the NGO that you've been working with. It shows a lot of things. You get that? So that is it. If you're on this platform, I don't know if the Holy Spirit touches me. I have an NGO. You can check it. It's on Facebook. Now I'm so much trying to do a lot of things in that regard. God M Foundation. We have some donation coming on in September. You need a recommendation letter. Why not? We're just going to buy exercise books, pen, pencil, and go and donate to students in one of the communities that I attended school. Just buy us 1 or 2 exercise books. I'll give you a recommendation letter. Good recommendation letter. I've given recommendation letters to people who have traveled to parts of the world. It has really worked for them. So that is it. Now, another thing that I want to talk about that we can actually use to show proof of ties to our home country is what? Education. Now, this may sound funny, but it's the reality. How can we use education or the program we are going to study as a ties to your home country? Let's assume that Mohammed, who is watching now, has a bachelor's degree in economics, and Mohammed works with the district assembly in Nandom. He works in any of the departments. He's been working for 5 years or 10 years. And now Mohammed decides to come and read masters in accounting in University of Toronto. Mohammed should be able to demonstrate to the visa officer why he's coming to study that program. We have spoken about this thing, how you can demonstrate the significance of the program you're going to study to a whole lot of things. But today I want to speak about the significance of the program you're going to study to your own country. So Mohammed should be able to tell us why he's going to study a master's in accounting. He should be able to tell the visa officer that he has been able to identify a loophole in terms of providing services in the district assembly. So he realizes that if he's been able to study a master's in accounting in Canada, it will help the government of Ghana in terms of the local government's responsibility to the citizens in Part A, Part B, or Part C. Now, so if your background actually aligns with the program you are coming to study in Canada, it shows that connectivity. It already shows a strong tie to your home country. The visa officer will know that. So it means that if Mohammed should return to his home country, there is a higher possibility of getting a job. The home country actually needs Mohammed to come back. You get that? Because a lot of people will travel to Canada, US, and wouldn't want to go back if they realize that opportunities in what they have studied in these countries are less. And don't also forget that there are certain programs that you may be admitted to in Canada. The visa officers will refuse you visa. The visa officers will tell you categorically that you have less chances based on the program you want to study in Canada. The job availability in your home country in respect of what you are coming to study in Canada is low. So based on reason ABC, he or she is refusing you visa. But if there is that alignment, if there is not that connectivity, if there is that continuity in your previous background and the background you are going, or the background you are going to study in Canada, it gives them a lot of hope that actually you want to be an invaluable asset to your country. So you can actually use education to show proof of home ties. Now, another that I want to talk about is travel history. I know ACN was with me in this room. He visited me in this room and he told me the number of countries that he's been able to travel to. If I'm quoting him right, he told me he traveled to about 17 countries so far. So already ACN has a travel history. Now, it's just not a matter of traveling to country A, B, C, D. It is a matter of what? Obeying the immigration rules in that country. If ACN has traveled to these 17 countries on a tourist visa, on a visit visa, The visa officer would like to see if he's been able to return based on the timeline he has given during the visa application process. Some of the countries, if you're on tourist or visit visa, you can't stay in the country more than 3 months, more than 6 months. You get that? So the visa officer would like to see if you overstay or you return to your home country within the stipulated time. So you can prove to the visa officer that I have a track record of always leaving the country to my home country based on the stipulated time. So why I wouldn't come and overstay in Canada? Just give me the visa and you see. If it's time for me to return to my home country, I'm not scared to return because I've done that a couple of times. So these are some of the ways we can actually demonstrate a proof of ties to our home country. To be sincere with you, this this is one of the reasons, or this is one of the key factors that contribute a lot of visa refusals. So if you are somebody who is here to submit your visa application, you are in the process of submitting the visa application, please weigh these things that I've spoken about. Check your documentation and see if, or your explanation letter, and see if you've been able to factor some of these things in your explanation letter. Don't just go and write that you have land, you have a house, you have this. You should be able to prove your documentation. That is one major problem with we, the Africans. We can say a lot of things, but we always find it difficult to show proof using documentation. It's so significant. You get that? Good. Let me see if there are. Oh, I see you, Wisdom. Hey, my boss, long time, Charlie, long time. Hey, you know, this time they are made hot. Hey, great lesson. Thank you, Kwiku. Senior, how are you doing? Happy birthday, eh? Happy birthday to you, my brother. I wish you long life. Wish you prosperity. I wish you divine favor. You know, let me say this. If you are somebody who is hardworking, you are somebody who can work so smartly, and you do not have the grace upon you, you're actually going to struggle. So, Kweku Esen, I wish you the grace. If the grace is upon you, whatever you do, you succeed. So may the grace find you so that you become that great person. I've seen a lot of potentials in you. I've seen that you are somebody who can really be an asset to Ghana. So I just pray that things will work out for you so that you accomplish your dream. What's that? Oh, so that you accomplish your dreams and great and greater things will happen to you. Hey, Peter Amable. Hey, hi, boss. I see you, Mr. Peter. How you doing? Then Mohammed. Is it? Hey, I don't want to pronounce these names wrongly. So I see you, Mohammed. Thank you so much, guys. So that's all I have for you. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow I'll come your way. So if you find the content I have just shared with you so engaging, why not share it to bless somebody? Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye.